Hey y'all, it's Tina with the Nurse Knows, and as promised, I am back tonight to tell you about what I know. For those of you who saw my post on Tuesday talking about I'm still choosing me and find out how and why I did, the first one was that I'm worth it, and so are you. You deserve to choose you first. I think as a caregiver, by profession and with a family, and especially women, not that men don't, we often get into this cycle of taking care of everyone over and over again. But we know this, but we often fail to put it into practice that you can't take care of others if you don't take care of you. So I finally got it, but it took me a while to get it. It took me becoming forgetful. I was forgetting a lot of things. It took me feeling overwhelmed to do it. It took me from to be unmotivated, unencouraged. I know, a pretty bad place to be, huh? And I realized it, but I just couldn't shake it. And so I know that my body needs rest, my mind needs rest, and I had gotten into the cycle after going into year 3 of COVID in my profession and in the world, and the impact that it had made and the changes that it forced. I was not able to recover as normal. I went through virtual learning like everyone else. Please don't get me started with all the other people complaining about virtual learning and all of the things they had to do. Just don't want to hear it, because it just did not compare to the stress that some others are on. And I'm not here to compare stresses, but it was enormous. I can tell you that. It had a major impact on my household, a major impact on my family, a major impact on my work. The stress of, more than anything, when I was allowed to work from home, because healthcare workers don't work from home, then I have to produce that much more to justify. This is what I put up myself, to justify my working from home. So if anybody ever questions my productivity, I wanted to be able to account for 8 full hours in a day, because I did not want that privilege taken from me, because my family really needed that. My children are younger and were not able to stay home alone. Childcare was closed. My family was either, I don't have family that live in this area. They couldn't help, didn't want to help, wasn't able to help. A number of different things. And the same thing for my husband. We just didn't have the family here. All of our friends that usually support us when we go on vacations, they all have full-time jobs themselves. And let's just admit it, everyone was afraid initially. So here we are, to public health workers, public service people, needing to serve because of the pandemic that no one had ever experienced, and needing to be in a position where we could help maintain, save, protect lives. And we have children at home like everyone else, and we never shut down. And we were blessed to be able to do as well as we did for the amount of time that we did. We were very creative, but I paid for it. I later found out, because there was a lull in the hospitals, as many of you all knew, for quite some time, because people were petrified about going anywhere, let alone a hospital, and understandably so. But when the floodgates opened, oh my God, did they open. And so it was just like no work had been done, and you could not do enough, and people came from their houses, from the sky, from under a rock, from around the corner, from under the table. We were like, where did all these people coming from, and how have they been maintaining and sustaining for this amount of time? And as you can imagine, they were worse than they would have been had they come earlier. So we had our hands full writing protocols that were constantly changing as the CDC gave new guidelines and new recommendations, just trying to do the best for other people, and did not realize that it would go on as long as it did, and kind of did not see it coming, that it was going to take a slow build. Some people were not taking vacations. We did take a couple. The first year, I believe it was, or maybe it wasn't the first year, the second year, I can't remember. Maybe the fall of the first year. We were just like, we need a break. And but we went as a family, I think a time or two over the course of time, because we needed the break. But work never stopped. And I found myself in a position where I was constantly thinking, constantly trying to produce, constantly trying to come up with solutions. The Great Resignation has hit healthcare very hard. No one knows when or how we're going to recover from that. It is still going on. And you think it's something to have to wait at a restaurant because there are not enough waiters and waitresses. Try waiting in the emergency department when there are not enough nurses. Or try waiting for a bed when there are none. Or those are the kinds of things that we face for an extended period of time. So, just finally realizing, I think I've shared in another video that I went to the doctor. I was having trouble sleeping, and I was just wake up thinking. And before I could even say, thank you, Lord, for another day, it was like, okay, today I have to, or what's going to happen with this today or that today. So after much thought and much prayer and conversation with my husband, I decided I needed time off. And for the first time ever in my life, I think I've been working since I was probably 15, a government job. Before that, we farmed. I helped my grandparents farm. But a check paying job that it paid taxes to the government, I worked since I was 15. And I became a full-time employee, of course, at 18 or 19. And I have never taken more than a week off of work at a time. And this time I took, are you ready? A month. Yep, sure did. And I was very nervous about it. My husband and I talked about it. Is this the right thing to do? Do I need a job change? A lot of things, a lot of considerations went into it. Is this the right thing for me? Is this job going to get any better? Is it going to be any less demanding? Once I get in a good place, am I going to be able to stay there in this role? And I don't want you to think I was having a nervous breakdown. I was not. I was not depressed. I did check all of those things, and there's nothing wrong with it if you were. But I just don't. I want to give you the balance. I'm not saying that, I needed to be admitted anywhere. But it was cumbersome trying to figure out what it was because, I am the nurse and a wealthy place and all of those things. And I had to try to figure out what is going on with me because although I was not sick, I did not physically feel terrible. I knew that I was off. And I could not put my finger on the reason why. And when you find out that it's really something that you can't medicate, you can't surgically fix, those are the hardest decisions and the hardest things to attend to. So yes, we talked about it, figured out it was the best thing for me. And I took a month off. I did. And for that month, I only did me. And I did not do anything I did not want to do. If someone asked me to do something, I did it in my good, sweet time. If they wanted a deadline, they had to get it from someone else. I did not answer anything work-related at all. Did not try to solve any problems. I did not cook a bunch of food or clean a lot of things. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't do the closet and the pantry and the things. It just was what it was, and I took time for me. I am not a big napper, but I did take a couple of naps, and it felt great. And so I went back to work for the first day yesterday, and I felt prepared and I felt good. I did make a change at work where I have less responsibility and I don't have the weight that I had before, and I am good with that. And it felt good to come home yesterday and not have to worry about my phone ringing or anyone calling me or not being able to have dinner with my family because I'm watching my phone. It had gotten that bad where I would go to events to try to reprieve, and I would get work-related text messages or phone calls and would have to step away, and it was incessant. And it felt great. I was looking tired. I might still look tired because I've had a busy day today, but I felt like I looked tired. I felt like I looked aged. I could see it if no one else could. I've gained weight, and I'm looking to fix all of those things. So I just want to say, when you're in a place that you've never been, sometimes you have to do what you've never done. And it was really hard for me to take time off of work. And it was really difficult for me to not answer people. I was careful about who I spent time with. I basically spent time with no one except for my family because I did not want any negative energy. I did not want to deal with anyone's problems. I did not want to hear anyone's stories because my life for the past plenty of years, even before the pandemic, has been about problem solving. And I problem solved or tried to more than I ever have in life. And the past almost going into 3 years, and I love problem solving, but I'm good at problem solving. And when you try to problem solve a pandemic, which I know sounds crazy, I tried. When you try to problem solve some of those things that no one has answers to, or no one can give you the information so you can create a viable resolution, then it kind of messes with you, or it messed with me. Why am I not able to do this? I'm really good at this. I'm the Olivia Pope of healthcare. What are you saying? So I did it, and it feels good, and I'm going to maintain some of it. Like, there's just some things I'm not going to do. There's just some places I'm not going to go. There's some people I'm just not going to be around, or I'm going to be around on my terms, and it's what's best for me. I think people get so used to you being good that they unload, and they don't think about when you're not good. And just because I don't say I'm not good doesn't mean I'm good. So you just kind of have to be mindful of people's space, and it's not someone else's burden to carry. But if you constantly find that you're unloading on the same person or people all the time, consider that at one point maybe not unload today, because that person may not be in a good space. But I took a month off. I feel great. I am not forgetful. I am sharp. I was thinking that I was going through menopause and some of this was not going to return. I did, because you do start getting forgetful. Like, I went through all the medical things to see what is wrong with me, only to find out that I was stressed. I was burnt out, and I have to protect my space. So my family's happier because I'm happier. They've been really excited about having me home, and even though I haven't done anything. And so I know that was it. My how and my why. My why was so I could be the best me that I could be. And my how was I took a month off. And it was kind of taboo to say at first, but now I'm really proud of it. That I did what was best for me. I took my own advice. And so I'd advise you to do the same. Your mind needs rest. Optimally, they advise about 90 minutes a day. There's no perfect rhythm or way, but when you feel that you're off, you know you better than anybody else, then you're off. And so do the work to find out what needs to be done to get you back on. And that mental rest helps in feed into your brain stores. And those brain stores help with encouragement, optimism, your thought processes, problem solving. And when your brain doesn't get that rest, all of those things suffer. And so do you. And so does your family and friends. So be the best you can be and put in the work. So now that I've kind of got my groove back, I feel like, and I've been able to write down some ideas, I'm going to be working successfully on some wellness initiatives and the bounce back and getting your groove back. I hear a lot of people saying that they are ready to do that and shed the COVID pounds and get back out there and do some things. And we know that support and accountability are keys. So that's a hint about what I'm going to be doing. So follow me on my page at A Wealthy Place on Facebook, also on Instagram as A Wealthy Place, and continue to tap in on YouTube and watch the Nurse Knows videos. And what this nurse knows is that rest and mental rest is as important as anything, because if you don't get it, your body will tell on you, and so will your mind and your emotions. So until the next time, this is Tina signing out, telling you to choose you, boo. I did. So now I'm not giving advice that I didn't follow. All right, until the next time, I love y'all. Bye.